I don't really think nobody fucking with me anyway, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, 24 fucking hundred. I come from that fucking block. I been out that Johnny up and up that cutter. If we cannot get.
Welcome back. We back with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to a Red Tree Stories video. When a killer realizes the police aren't stupid. It depends on what police and it depends on where. But I mean, normally the killer is dumb as hell. Let's get right into it. Oh, also, at the end of the video, we will be, I guess, reacting to Lil Wayne song, little throwback. You know, just to show some appreciation for Wayne, the GOAT, even though he did drop the Carter 6. We can just act like that didn't exist, and that's what this is for. We're just gonna go into one of the greatest rappers alive verses at the end of the video.
This is 33-year-old Emerita Mapp. Police believe that she went to a hotel room to meet two men who thought she was buying drugs. When she arrived, she stabbed both men, stole their drugs and money, and fled the scene.
Bro, these nigga ain't had no chop. Brother, there's no way y'all got robbed at knife point.
What Emerita doesn't know is that one of the two men died at the scene, and the other one is in critical condition at the hospital.
What happened?
It was 2v1.
Fighting for your life. Tell me about it.
Me and dude was cool with him. You know, I went to go chill to hang out. I hung out for a minute or whatever. He was drinking.
With who?
Doing drugs.
But with who?
Zach.
Zach?
Yeah.
Okay. And you know days and you went over there to chill?
Yeah. But later things started getting a little awkward. You know what I mean? It was like...
I don't want to go too fast, I'm sorry. Let's...
So,
you said you were doing drugs? What were you guys doing?
Yeah, it was like smoking weed. It was like doing coke.
Okay.
Drinking and stuff.
Coke?
You know?
Okay.
So, we was chilling. And I was sitting on the bed. It was like... I don't know, things started getting a little awkward. So I left. Down the street. I forgot the room key. So I turned around and went back. And as I went back...
And poked him up.
The other guy was gone. I don't know where he was, but he was just listening in the room. And when I walked in, I said, yo, I forgot my room key. And he said, come on in. I walked in. And it wasn't on the bed anymore. He knocked the door. And I said, what's up? What's going on? I haven't hung out with him like that before, but like we were cool, you know what I mean? We were straight. I tried to clear it, and it was a struggle. He was struggling. It was a struggle. He was pulling my clothes. I have bruises. On my legs when he was, you know, holding me down.
Okay.
And we was like bouncing back and forth in the room. He had a gun.
And still lost the knife fight?
He actually fired it off. But they had on the table, it was a knife, it was cigarettes, it was.
So you telling me Shorty really bought a knife to a gunfight and won? That's what you're telling me. That's what I'm hearing. This is actually phenomenal.
And I grabbed the first thing.
Not in a good way.
What was the first thing?
The first thing was a knife.
It was a knife? Okay. So
First thing was a knife, and I stabbed him.
you stabbed Zach?
Yeah.
How did you stab him?
Like, I got him and stabbed him.
In the front, in the back? In the front. And where were you when you stabbed him? In the room?
It was right in front of the door.
Right in front of the door?
And he chased me around the room, still.
Chased you around the room?
And the first thing I grabbed,
Wow.
he fell.
Wow, bleeding?
He actually fired off. He fired off a shot. The first thing I grabbed. The second thing was a lamp. I just...
A lamp?
It was all impulse.
A lamp?
Yeah. And
Where's
I
that
started
lamp?
swinging it. I started swinging it. I'm not sure.
Man, he has a chop. What is going on here?
I swung it. I was so scared. I was so scared because I've never been in that situation before. Never in my life. I don't bother anybody. I'm not, you know, violent. I'm not, you know, I work. You know, there was nothing in there that I wanted of anybody. I was just trying to get out.
And
I was scared and I thought he was going to be after me. So
so
I
what?
stabbed him too.
Where did you stab him?
I don't remember. Everything was red. Honestly.
So you stabbed them
Well,
and then
she
what?
ain't black out. Yo,
You left?
Sarah was wilding.
You didn't do anything else in the room? We need to take it a little bit slow.
I took that gun.
You took the gun? What else did you take?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it? You didn't take nothing else from them?
No.
Nothing. Okay. Let's retract a little bit, okay?
Emerita claims that as she was trying to leave, one of the two men began to get aggressive with her. He demanded that she stay, and when she refused, he attacked her. After stabbing and hitting the first male with a lamp, the second male walked in the door, and he too received the same treatment. The detectives know that most of what she is saying is a lie because they interviewed the surviving victim. That interview will be played later in this video.
It was like normal, you know. The vibe was good. Everything was good. The vibe was good. I was chilling, you know. I felt comfortable. And then it was like little gestures, like, okay, have you ever had sex, or you ever did this, or you know, like questions that made me feel uncomfortable. So the whole time,
Who was asking those questions?
both of them was asking like weird questions.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I never even seen them.
Bro, how the hell are these weird questions, bro? We trying to figure out what your affiliation. Yo, I'm done with this nigga. I was like, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm gonna put. Hey man, I'm gonna put a cap on my craziness, bro. I'm sorry. That was about to get wild. I'm trying to figure out your affiliation. I'm confused. Nigga trying to figure out what's going on.
I was gonna ask who all was in the room.
Yeah, I don't even know the other guy. I can't tell you what's name.
How many people were in the room?
It was 3. Me.
2 dudes and you.
Me.
Okay.
Okay, and then
Yeah, so
you
you
guys
know,
are
throughout the
talking.
whole night, you know, that's how, you know, a couple hours, time flies by.
Okay.
And then I felt uncomfortable, and I said, okay, it's time for me to go.
Time for you to go.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And he said, so you finna have to,
You finna what?
Yo, shit.
Zach tells you that?
No more drinking, bro. I can't drink no more on this shit. I'm saying, like, bro, what the hell you here for? Like, that's tough. That's all I gotta say. That's tough, my nigga. Damn, they say you gonna have to. Bless me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Zach?
yeah,
He told you that?
yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
This is the second time you hung out. You hung out all night, and then now he's gonna try and tell you to suck his.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
okay. And then
Baby,
what
fuck
happened?
I told you,
Yo,
like,
get
it was
the
weird. It was asking weird questions, like, you know, I'm not trying to make this, it was making me very uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable. That's why I said, okay, maybe it's about time for me to go. Later on in the evening,
Where you come back in, he opens the door, okay?
he's standing in front of the door.
He's standing in front of the door.
Mm-hmm.
He lets you in, and then where'd you go? You go to the bed. There's 2 beds, right?
Yeah,
and you go to the middle.
I walk over to
and
it.
you look around for the key, and then what happens?
He's like standing there. He's like standing there.
He's standing there,
Yeah.
And doing
and,
what?
and he says what
He's
to
like,
you?
you finna have to suck something. Like, I don't know if he was insinuating whether or not to get my key back, or you know, cause you know, or whatever.
So what is he doing during this time? Is he just saying that, or is he?
Oh, he's saying that. So I
And-
start walking towards the door.
You
He
start
wouldn't
walking
let me
towards
out.
Was the door shut or
Pull
open?
his pants down.
It was shut. Okay, so he is standing in front of the door, and you're trying to go through the door. You're trying to leave. You're trying to leave, and then what happened?
We start fighting.
You started fighting.
Uh-huh.
He had a gun. He had a gun.
When did the gun come out?
He been showing me his gun.
He what?
He had a gun out.
When?
When does it come out? I mean,
After we started fighting.
after you start fighting,
It was all over the room. But the first thing I grabbed was on that table.
was on this.
Was on that table was a knife, it was cigarettes, it was beer, it was drugs on that table, and that's the first thing I grabbed.
That's the first thing you grabbed, and then
Yeah.
so you're both fighting at this
I
point,
stabbed him.
and then you stabbed him, and then when does the gun come out?
Yeah, the gun was already out.
So our question, I guess, is when does the gun come out at this point?
When I ran to the table.
When you ran to the table, you run to the table because you guys are fighting, and I guess he sees you reaching for something, he pulls out the
Pulls out,
gun.
yeah.
Okay, so then does he come after you here, or do you go back over him, or what
He
ends
was coming
up?
after me the whole time. We was going at it the whole time.
So then you stab him from there,
Yeah.
and it was in the front?
Yeah.
Okay,
And I heard a knock on the door.
you heard a knock on the door.
I got scared.
You got scared, okay?
And he came in.
Who came in?
The other guy came in.
The other guy, who was the other guy? The other guy that had been with you?
I don't know.
So it
The
wasn't
other guy you had to hang out with earlier in that morning? So he comes back, so you let him in, or does he let himself in?
Listen.
Okay, so maybe he has a key then, maybe. Okay, so he let himself in, and
So why you
what
knock on
happens?
the door?
Can I stab him?
Where did you stab him?
In the middle.
In the neck. So you were on the other side of that, pretty much that wall there with that door. So he sees the door open, he walks in, does the door shut behind him?
Yeah.
It shuts behind him? And then you stab him,
And I cleared it.
and then you left.
The detectives know that Emerita is lying, and they plan on getting aggressive with her and calling her out for her lies. But before we finish her interrogation, let's take a look at what the surviving victim said about what happened.
We were kind of hanging out, drinking some beers, and he said one of his friends or someone he knew that was going to come through, and she did, thinking she was looking to buy drugs. I'm not sure.
What makes you think that?
Well, Zach was known to sell drugs.
Right.
I'm not sure. She was there for a while, early in the morning, around sunrise, and when I got back to the room, Zachary was on the floor. The other lady was still there. I don't remember her name. I saw Zach on the floor, and the next thing I know, the lady had put a knife to my throat. My throat over next to where the bathroom was at, by the sink. She then pulled a gun out, told me to lay down and be quiet. In which case, She went through my pockets,
Y'all got robbed.
took everything that I had on me, at least as far as I know. And I just kind of laid there with my eyes closed and played dead until I heard the door shut. Once I heard the door shut,
Say it, don't buddy.
I started knocking some things over, trying to make some noise, which didn't seem to help.
Police.
So I crawled for the front door and made it out onto the sidewalk. And some tourists or some bystanders had saw me, saw that I needed help. They proceeded to call 911.
The victim's story is much different than Amarita's. In his version of events, his friend had already been killed and was in the process of being robbed when he walked into the hotel room.
Right.
He too was also robbed and then almost killed. Let's continue watching Amarita's interrogation and see if the detectives can get her to tell the truth.
Homeboy tells you you're gonna have to suck it, whatever he says. All right. You don't see your room key here. You realize that he's standing in front of the door.
No, I turned around and he was.
Okay.
I'm like, what's up, bro?
And then what did you do?
Try to get out.
Okay.
He come towards me. And that's why he was tussling. He wouldn't let me out. That's the whole conflict. If he would have let me out, then I wouldn't have felt like I had to fight. I wouldn't have felt like I had to defend myself. I wouldn't have felt like that.
Okay. What happened to the weapons?
What happened to I took the weapon. I took the weapon. I don't know where the knife at.
Okay. And where's the gun at?
The gun, it was in my book bag.
Where's that at?
It was in my book bag in the trunk.
It's in the car.
Check my history. I'm not violent.
We did.
High school, I played soccer, I played basketball. My mom's a school teacher. My father wasn't in my life, but who cares? But he lives here now. You know what I mean? I can tell you the history of my life. I was raised in a good home. My mother raised me.
Yeah.
I worked ever since I got out of high school. I don't mess with anybody. I want to
Not to be one of those guys. Statistic. You just joined the statistic.
DUI, death by taking. That's what my charges are. I'm on probation right now. I went to jail because I violated probation. You know? And the only reason why I violated probation is because I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that shit being on probation and having to pay. So I'm careless with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a violation. You didn't pay?
Why not report it?
Scared it was a
Get
little
it back in
bit.
blood.
It was two white guys as me. Would have lost. Y'all ain't gonna believe that shit. Y'all ain't gonna believe the fact that I'm trying to fight for my life. Y'all ain't. So I didn't want to tell you that. It's a lose-lose, man. I know it is. It's a lose-lose.
What?
I'm
Let you
telling
know
you
you
the truth. You
lost.
don't even believe that.
No,
It's a lose-lose, bro.
it's not that.
It is.
It's not that, because we're trying to understand that. That's what we're going through this.
I'm telling you.
Because here's the thing. We've got evidence inside the room. We got evidence on the bodies. We got evidence over here. And we're just trying to. That's the reason why we've gone over that a couple times, because that story right there really.
I know you say struggle in the room. I didn't do any struggle, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
But.
It's a guy, I'm a girl, regardless of what I look like.
Right.
Regardless, I don't lift weights. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't do strenuous activities. I lift plates. I serve tables. That's what I do.
I don't think those guys either. I don't think either of those guys lift weights either.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
I can't take.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like these are freaking muscle
You
boys.
know, but still,
Eating their protein and shit.
But even if that's the case, why do that to the second guy?
Why not?
He didn't really show any aggression towards you.
I didn't know that.
The detective wants to know why she would attack the second man, who was just coming back to the room after grabbing something to eat. If she had to fight off the first man and she already had control of both weapons, why attack the man that just came through the door?
Right, I don't need to poke him. I got
You
time.
could have been like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was. But you freaking shanked the dude.
Why not shoot him in the leg? Or
And he robbed him
Dude,
also.
homeboy was, I mean, whatever happened between you and Zach was done. You know what I'm saying? But this dude's just a straight up. Was it because you're like, he knows who I am, or what?
I know who I am.
Okay, so then that's gone. That excuse is gone. I mean, like,
I didn't know your name.
Honestly, I didn't know what he was gonna come in there and do. I didn't know what he was gonna do. In my mind at that moment was defense.
homeboy was straight up like an innocent fucking bystander. I mean, this.
Nigga just said defense, but you were attacking. Nigga just said defense, but you were attacking. Like, what is she talking about, nigga? I'm confused. Defense. Oh, let me poke this nigga. Total defense, Shogun. Like, nigga, that's the only card that I know that you could be in defense mode and attack. Actually, it's a few now. A few different ones. Like, she a super heavy samurai. Why is she attacking in defense mode? That don't make no damn sense.
This guy's just at the.
It was defense. And clear.
How is it defense?
Because I didn't know what he was gonna do.
So let me run a scenario about you. I'm walking down a busy street, a busy sidewalk.
Know what I'm saying?
Dude comes by me. I don't know what he's gonna do.
Facts.
Do I have the right to just stab him?
Hell
But
no.
that's not a good scenario.
That's
Okay.
a great scenario.
I get into a fight with dude A.
You're about to be. Let's say you in jail.
Okay.
You in the cell. You finna be. Say room this big.
Okay.
Hold on. We not in jail though, gang. So that's a bad scenario. Cause now you done put me in a scenario where nigga the room ain't even that damn big. The room like that big, it ain't that well. Nigga try to hood of the hood. First and foremost, we in jail. Every rule about human morality and all that other shit that went out the window, buddy. I gotta survive at this point. Like that's a whole completely different environment. Yeah, you was in a hotel room, you could have jumped out the motherfucking window. Yeah, man. Like, huh? What you talking about? Then after you poke little buddy ass, still could have jumped out the motherfucking window. I'm just saying, like, that's not the same. You was in a free world. You
Okay,
could have got out somewhere.
you defending yourself. You don't know what the f this man's gonna come in here and do. You know he got a roommate. You know all y'all in jail. You fighting for your life. You do what you. He gave me a scenario. You do what you gotta do to try to get out of it. He come in. What's your first instinct? You're not thinking about anything.
If I got a knife in my hand,
It's off impulse.
But in jail, you're in jail. You had the freedom to run out, to push him out. Hell, there was a phone in the room.
Off impulse.
You know what I'm saying? There was a phone in the
Straight
room.
impulse.
Okay.
It's all impulse.
but impulse is taught. Impulse is not, I mean, it's something that you've done before. We've already established that you're not a violent person. I can understand if you had been through 8 million fights, you've done this, you've trained, whatever it is.
Emerita begins getting emotional as she tells the detectives that she has been devastated by what happened.
Shouldn't it be
The detectives
instincts and
decide to play
impulse?
along and sympathize with her, hoping to get her to confess that her intentions were to rob the two men.
It's been so hard. I don't know if they did or not, bro. Like, it's been so hard. It's like, oh my God, like, I don't know. You know, you can't go on life like that, man. You drive yourself crazy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
Shorty got a
That's
twitch.
more
Why she
reasonable
doing
right
that?
there. That explains a little bit more. Look, you trying to leave.
You know?
He doesn't let you leave,
Why she do
right?
that?
He don't let you leave. Is he thinking that you owe him some money for the
No,
party?
he telling me what I'm finna have to do.
Oh, he thinks that he was like chilling with you and giving you bumps of shit for a favor that maybe you didn't agree to. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what it was. It had to be the drugs.
Had to be the drugs. Had to be the
He
drugs.
was like that, man. He was cool. That's why I felt comfortable. If I didn't feel comfortable, I wouldn't put myself in that situation.
No, I got you.
You know?
But at the same time, you gotta remember this guy's slim and dope. And the fact of the matter is, he's supplying someone. You know, let him party a little bit, chilling. Maybe he feels like, yo, you owe me something.
Well, what we're getting at is too, and it's a product, you know what I'm saying? He's putting out a product. It's anything else. It's just like a service. He expects something, and anyone expects something. You know, if you come to my store and I give you a product, I'm expecting payment. So do you think in his mind, or had it been discussed or anything, on what was, or this was just straight up party favors? He supplied something, just says come over for a good time, hang out. You guys didn't discuss, I don't want to see anything in records like you guys talked about purchasing or anything. Did you talk about buying anything off him? No? He just said come chill, hang out, let's have a good time?
Nothing. I didn't go to the bathroom. I didn't wash my hands. I didn't do any of that. Nothing happened in that area. What happened was I ran around this room running from this guy right here.
Okay.
He is the initial motherfucker, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Did I intend on whatever happened to him? No. But what I was going to do, I was going to get up out of there. And that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go back for that. I went back. My car was still running. It was quick. He wouldn't let me out. I looked dead in this black lady face outside.
What'd you say?
I didn't say anything, but I looked at her. It was a, see you walking by, I look at you. It was broad daylight.
Do that
I can
gotta do with
understand, like,
anything.
a measure that's taken,
Sorry,
a strike or
please.
something like that to create distance to get the fuck out of Dodge, but that's not the case on Zach. You know, that is not the case with Zach. That was not a single blow, create distance, and get the fuck out of Dodge, you know? What the hell happened with Zach?
No, he wouldn't let me out.
But you,
He wouldn't let me out.
okay, but your first stab,
Like after you stab him the first time, there is no he wouldn't let me out because nigga, you could get out yourself at that point. Nigga, he's worried about a whole wound in his chest. What are you talking about?
was in the chest.
He kept coming for me.
Huh?
So where did you go?
He
Where,
kept coming for
okay,
me. He kept coming for me, man.
where did you go?
But I don't think it was for like. I don't think it was for those motives though. To try to get to you.
So you don't?
Huh?
So you don't think for what motives?
For the motive that you said earlier, I don't know about that. You know, I think he thought he was entitled to something.
You strike him in the chest. Where did you go?
I ran. He kept coming.
Okay, where did you go? Where did you go from here?
I ran across. I jumped across the bed. He chased me the whole time. It was a lamp. The lamp I picked up. I turned around and I swung at him. He fell.
Okay. Ultimately, like,
Why didn't you leave
you
after
wouldn't
you
been near these guys, this shit would have happened. And you're probably there for the wrong reasons, you know what I'm saying?
Just to hang out.
Nigga, what?
But you say maybe if the drugs weren't there, the drugs are a contributing factor to this happening.
I think the drugs contributed factor what the hell he was taking because he had like that when I first met him. So what else could it have been? You know, I know y'all might not believe that.
No, we see the effects.
I'm surprised.
No, we see
I'm
it.
so seriously. It's like, what's up, bro?
We see this.
Oh,
every
she's
day.
on drugs.
And there's something component to this. I think whether it's money or whatever the heck it is, the drugs. At the end, he was a drug dealer. And guess what? To move what he has, people give him money for that. Right? That's what he does. Everybody we talk to, they know Zach deals dope. They know.
Nigga, how is Zach not cooked? How does everybody know that Zach deals dope? And police, whatever, dog. Whatever, dog.
Know that. You've got stuff from him before. We know that. We can prove that.
The detectives are trying to show that Emerita knew that her first victim was a drug dealer. By establishing this, they can show that Emerita had motive to rob and kill him.
What did you get from him this time?
I didn't get anything. I hung up.
You didn't leave with anything? Or you were supposed to leave with something, but you didn't leave with something.
I leave it.
Did you
I left with
always...
his gun. I left with his backpack. That's what I left with. I left with a lamp.
Was there any drugs in the backpack?
I don't know what's in it. I thought I tossed it.
Well, you stabbed him many times. Listen, you stabbed him so many times, it's almost too many times to count.
Impossible.
No, it's possible.
It's possible. We have a body that's possible.
I remember the lamp. I remember stabbing him once.
Look, it was a hard moment. We understand. It was a moment where you...
I don't remember stabbing him more than that one
Shit was
time.
overkill.
I don't remember.
I don't know if there's such thing. We shouldn't be killed.
I wouldn't have done that.
But you did it.
I ain't asking no lawyer, I ain't asked for shit.
Right.
I came in voluntarily. I ain't saying shit to you. I ain't asked for nothing. I ain't asked to speak to my mom. I love my mother to death.
Yeah.
You hear me?
I got you.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here by myself. Okay?
Yeah.
I am. Cooperating.
Absolutely.
Telling you the full truth. I don't tell you the truth.
Okay. Well, for whatever reason, that you don't recall any of that, they're just a little bit different. Just that's peace of mind. Just think about that. We'll talk about it later. We'll deal with it later. Whatever it is, you'll see it later.
In the end, prosecution was able to prove that Emerita planned the robbery in advance, so they were able to convict her of first-degree murder. Emerita was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. What are your thoughts on this case? Do you think someone who plans out a murder should receive life in prison?
Nigga, why are you asking that dumbass question? Of course, nigga, come here. Like, what? She planned out a murder and then executed it. What the f are you talking about? Yes. Yes. A million times yes. Get our dumb ass out of here. It's not really much to say. I mean, you see what Shorty was on. Immediately, as soon as you get into the situation about trying to do some, and you get caught, he was trying to me. He said, I'm gonna have to suck some You? Whatever, my guy. Sure. I don't even remember your name. But yeah, whatever Mario was saying, bro, I can't believe it. Let's get to this Wayne verse, man. This is sky's the limit, bro. I can't with these capping ass niggas today, bro. There you go. I was like, where the fuck is the man?
Easy out. Young money. Cash money.
17 years ago, it's crazy.
This is the drop 3. Ladies and gentlemen.
Tell you the job 3 better than the Carter 6, and that's on God.
Listen. You know I ride for my motherfucking niggas. Most likely I'ma die with my finger on the trigger. They tell me don't get high, not to try to make a living. I tell them I'm a hustler, I'd rather make a killing. My eyes get so wide as it rise in the skillet. I let my bitch bag it if she's stealing, I'm a killer. I bulletproof the ride, now I feel like I'm a dealers. And fuck your hospital, young money, we the illest. And I ain't gotta lie when I tell you I'm the illest. My flow is nasty, like C.Y. Phyllis. Self-made G and them bitches know the business. Relying on rap, but in the kitchen I'm a chemist. And when I was 5, my favorite movie was The Villains. Ain't got shit to do with this, but I just thought that I should mention. You looking for divine and a little intervention. And birds don't fly without my permission. I'm probably in the sky, flying with the fishes, or maybe in the ocean, swimming with the pigeons. See, my world is different, like the Wayne. And if you want trouble, bitch, I want the same thing. You know that I'ma ride with my motherfucking niggas. Most likely I'ma die with my finger on the trigger. Don't worry about mine, I'ma grind till I get it. And tell all of my niggas that the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit.
But don't you need no
tell all of my niggas that the sky is the limit. Cause the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. And if you look high, you see that I'm in it. The sky is the limit. Buck 10 in the coupe and your bitch love it. Switching lanes faster than she switch subjects. Tell her bitch don't talk to me. And if you're talking to them niggas, don't talk for free. And I hate when the niggas say talk is cheap. Cause I'm the type to let money talk for me. My flow is art unique. My flow can part a sea. The only thing on the mind of a shark is eat. By any means, and you just sardines. I got the 40 cal tucked in my PRPs. What do you expect? I'm from New Orleans. The majority of my city is riders. They trying to make a brand new map without us. But the tourists come down and spend $2 million. And no matter how you change it, it'll still be ours. Ride with my motherfucking niggas. Most likely I'ma die with my finger on the trigger. Don't worry about mine. I'ma grind till I get it. And tell all of my niggas that the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. The sky's the limit.
The verses are that good.
And I'ma tell all of my niggas that the sky's the limit. Because the sky's the limit. Yeah, the sky's the limit.
That would
And
be
if you
verses for
look
me.
up high, you
I
see
think
that
that's
I'm gonna be in it. Cause the sky's the limit. And you don't wanna fuck with a soldier. Use your head up, I take it off your shoulder. Burn up in your house and shoot everyone that's sitting on the living room sofa. That's fucked up. And you don't wanna fuck with a soldier. Use your head, or I take it off your shoulder. Mail it to your moms with a dozen of roses. That's fucked up. And I'm a G, and you ain't gotta know the alphabet to see. I know my whole city is depending on me, and I forget a lot of shit, but I cannot forget the streets. So you know that I'ma ride with my motherfucking niggas. Most likely I'ma die with my finger on the trigger. Don't worry about mine, I'ma grind till I get it. And tell all of my niggas that the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. Don't worry about mine, I'ma grind till I get it. Niggas that the sky's the limit. Because the sky's the limit. Yeah, the sky's the limit. And if you look high, you'll see that I'm gonna be in it. Cause the sky's the limit.
Like, Tucci, you could have just did Sky's the Limit Part 2 on Carter 6. I'd have been like, nigga, I'm buying this. I can't buy no others. Like, bro, what is going on, bro? What I'm saying, bro. Tucci really was the GOAT, man. That's the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video, share your thoughts on the video, and the comment section below. Hit notification bell so you stay today when I drop videos on the channel. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, y'all. The sky is
baby, slide by to my